Hello viewers, welcome again to my channel. It's your boy Pedro again, and depending on the time you're catching this broadcast, good morning, good day, good evening. I'm happy to be here with you once again, and I'll be jumping straight into action to give you a quick update as to what has transpired in the markets over the past 7 days or so. So it's been a pretty interesting week once again. So far so good. We envisage some sort of an Easter present from BTC, which we had. We got our present just for the Easter period, and Easter seems to be over. So what next? What next for BTC, the entire crypto market, and what does the US dollar have in stock for us? So stay tuned, and I'll be giving you in just a second what where we are, and we are likely headed as per um, the financial market. So I'll be jumping straight to, as usual, I'll be jumping straight to the performance of the US dollar via the DXY, the US dollar index. And once again, always remember that whatever I put up here is strictly for educational purpose and not to be treated as financial advice. Um, Financial asset trading is a risky affair, so always endeavor to carry out your own research before entering any trade. So as usual, I've always made mention of the fact that at least for the past couple of weeks now or so, or months probably, I've made mention of the fact that the US dollar is a deciding factor, a major deciding factor as to how the financial markets are going to react, are going to behave, so that has also played out so well. So I made the last couple broadcasts, I talked about the fact that we're to expect some sort of present from BTC via some level of weakness from the US dollar. I made mention of the fact that we may not entirely see a trend reversal, but at least we should see some sort of retracement of some sort, and that happened very well. That happened almost immediately after the broadcast. We had this huge sell-off on the US dollar. Roughly 1 week ago, on the 20th, we had this huge bearish engulfing, followed by another huge sell-off to the downside, and we ended up with a bullish pin bar. Well, that means the retracement was basically over, and you can see that Bitcoin had this massive buying pressure for these 2 days during the course of this the sell-off from the US dollar. So as the US dollar weakened, we had this strength from the Bitcoin market, and the rest and the forex related pairs had the same reaction as usual. The US Euro USD it seems to be like a mirror version of the US dollar, reacted in like manner as well. So very well, we had analysis spot on once again, and after the retracement we've had another impulse run to the upside. So currently we're still having an impulse run to the upside for the US dollar, and the entirety of the rest of the entire market seems to be dumping so hard. Bitcoin inclusive, Bitcoin seems to be dumping so hard at the moment. So as a result of this bullish impulse bullish run from the US dollar, we are having a reaction from the Bitcoin market, but in all, the Bitcoin market seems to be holding well. The pressure has not been as bad as the forex related pairs. You can see very well that the US dollar has basically just been in a choppy state, more or less a choppy state, or basically just a consolidatory state. We are, at least from a daily time frame perspective, we're basically just consolidating, or just in a sideways or choppy state. Or the Euro USD, once again acting as showing signs of showing the mirror version signs of the DXY, has finally tried to hold its own around this trend line support, but has not been able to hold on for too long. It has finally giving way to this support. Support has been compromised and has been flipped back to resistance, as you can see clearly here. The GBPUSD is also very weak at the moment. You can see huge sell-offs from the daily time frame perspective as well. There's been this huge sell-off on Friday. This was a huge sell-off that compromised this trend line, fully compromised this trend line for the first time in a very, very long while. This trend line has been, bottom of this trend line has been holding as support for quite some time until Friday. That was some huge bearish pressure on that trend line. So ever since that day, the GBP has been very, very, very weak, and as you can see that we have been able to capitalize on that sell-off with to experience more aggressive sell-offs as well. This sell-off on Friday has been followed up by more aggressive sell-offs on Monday and Tuesday as well. So we've also, as a result, broken through. We're currently closing below a trend line that has been in play. This trend line has been in play from November 2007. That was about 15 years ago. This trend line has downtrend line has been a very key level in the markets, and we're currently closing below that level. We're yet to see if we're closing the day below it as it stands, and we're currently closing the week below it as it stands, but the week is yet to close. So we'll see if there's going to be some sort of a turnaround as the week goes by. But the current state of things on the GBPUSD is a highly oversold state from the daily time frame perspective. We're having a reading of 21 as things stand. That's a highly oversold state from the US dollar. It tried to break above this descending trend line on the RSI for the first time in a very long time. Tried to hold that support, but unfortunately not for too long. It has been flipped back to resistance as things stand now. So the US dollar has been so powerful within the last 7 days or so via the new impulse run, and every other person is suffering as a result. Every other currency pair, the forex markets, associated currency pairs in the forex market are suffering very well as a result, and this effect is also currently being shown on the on the crypto markets as well. So we can see that even the New Zealand and the AUD, which has proven to be so strong in the past couple of months or so, is also showing signs of weakness. And going by this price action from the New Zealand US dollar, we are this sell-off is expected, because looking at the New Zealand US dollar, we've been in a downtrend. At least from the weekly time frame perspective, we've been in a downtrend for the past 14 months or so, dating back to February 2021. We've been in this we've been forming these higher lower highs and lower lows, and so as at early this month, we were at almost at the top of this descending channel, and the price action from that week and from that week was a clear indication that was we're to be headed south once again. So we're likely to head down south to this point, where we may likely see a retracement once again to the upside from the New Zealand USD. Virtually everywhere is red from the forex related pairs, and the JPY, after a very long wait and a very prolonged period of weakness, has suddenly began to show strength. So the JPY is beginning to show strength across board. The New Zealand pair, the JP Euro pairs, the JPY pairs, GBP JPY, virtually all the JPY pairs are currently gaining strength at the moment. Here's the EURGBP. We have serious sell-offs. The JPY is even strengthening even against the US dollar as we speak. It's currently one of very few pairs that is gaining so much momentum across board, even with the US dollar inclusive. The EURGBP, as a result of the huge sell-off from the GBPUSD on Friday, this was heavily capitalized by the euro. So as it stands now, we had, as you can see, on Friday when we had this huge sell-off from the GBPUSD, it showed this weakness was shared across board on other pairs, and you can see that the euro has finally been able to gain serious strength over the GBP, starting from that Friday, capitalizing on the Friday weakness from the GBP currency. So we've had this descending channel that's dating back to April or so of last year, and we've had a steady bullish divergence on the RSI, which has bounced off this trend line ever since that same time till date, and we've had this consolidatory rectangle that's been formed on the EURGBP. We've not really closed on the major time frames. We've not closed below this support. So the last visit to this support area was February 2020, over 2 years ago, and we'll finally come back to this place, to this region again, and you can see it is holding very well as support. So we're likely to see a bounce off from this point. The likelihood is very, very high, and that is currently very much in play. We're currently seen a huge bullish reaction from this support. This region once again is holding very well as support, and bullish divergence that has been on for over a year now is finally beginning to show results. So and in the midst of all that, coming down to the daily time frame perspective, we've seen I talked about the fact that we're forming a couple of weeks back or so. I talked about the fact that we're forming on the daily time frame perspective, in the midst of the downtrend for the EURGBP, we're forming a reversal pattern via an inverse head and shoulders. So we formed the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder seems to be formed as well. So we are currently at the neckline, and if we're able to break above this neckline towards the end of last month, and or unable to flip it back to support. So possibility if when we're able to do that, break above this on at least a daily and weekly time frame perspective, on at least daily and weekly time frame perspectives, and we're able to flip it back to support, so we may likely be seeing a reversal, validation of this reversal pattern, or we may likely see mixed resistance. But before that, we're going to have some resistance at this top of this channel, which has been very, very crucial as well for the past 1 year or so. So at the moment, EURGBP we're likely to see a reversal. There's a huge bullish momentum from that pair as well, as a result of the weakness that commenced on Friday, and the bounce from the supports, the weakness from GBP, and the bounce from this support as well from the pair. So a summary of today's broadcast is the fact that, yes, once again the US dollar is playing out well as a very pivotal factor in the financial market, not just the forex market, but as well crypto markets and other financial instruments as well. This is just a summary of what's going on in the market. All hell seems to be let loose on financial markets, while as the DXY, the US dollar index, the US dollar seems to gain strength. But all in all, how long will the US dollar continue with this bullish momentum? As far as I'm concerned, my take on this is the fact that we look the momentum. Yes, this seems to be like is another impulse run. This strength from the DXY. But if you look at this RSI, was still a sort of struggle. It's still a sort of struggle from the RSI. The RSI still seems to be struggling. There's still this divergence of some sort. So the likelihood of a sell-off is still very possible. The likelihood of a sell-off, a major sell-off. We've had a minor one. We may still have a major sell-off because things will still go south on the US dollar, and if that happens, majority of these guys are going to gain strength. So my take on the fact that we're still going to see some huge sell-off on the US dollar is still valid and is still very much intact. We've had a minor sell-off. Question is, would we still have a huge sell-off from the DXY? In my opinion, I think that's that is still very much in play. When that is going to happen, I cannot say for sure, and very well, maybe I may be wrong, maybe I may be right. Only time shall tell, but never say never in this business. A very funny business. Things will never keep going up forever. The signs still seem bearish for the DXY in the long run, and bullish for cryptos and financial and forex related pairs. The signs are already saying, even in the midst of Euro USD, even in the midst of this huge sell-off, our divergence is still very much intact, just like we have on the DXY. The mirror version setup is still very much in play. With respect to this last major swing low, we are still having a bullish divergence. So yes, we formed another new lower low, no doubt about it. But how strong is this momentum? How strong is this momentum? A reversal, a retracement could still be on the card for the DXY, and it's a related price as well. As you can see, the Bitcoin market may seem weak, but from a holistic point of view, this is still very much holding on very well in the midst of all the pressure and all the strength and the pressure from the DXY. The BTC pair seems to be holding on very well, in my opinion. We're still forming. Don't forget the fact that even in the midst of all the pressure, we're still forming higher lows. So I hope you enjoyed this once again, and if you did, please let me know in the comment section. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe as well, and also endeavor to share as well. As usual, let me know whatever you feel about this in the comment section, and remember that this once again is for educational purpose and not to be treated as financial advice. Financial assets trading is a risky affair, so always endeavor to carry out your own research before entering the trade. I wish you a happy trading week ahead. God bless you all. Bye bye.